Okay, here we go. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and we're doing another weekend wrap-up of sports. Joining us, as always, is Jason Cameron, fresh off a great weekend. Weather's awesome, tons going on in the city, and you didn't do anything. I'm glad you got some rest that you needed, and were you very happy that you were able to just hit the refresh button and get some much needed rest?
Yes, absolutely. I kind of needed it after a couple weekends of an incredible amount of fun, but I needed some downtime, and I took it last weekend, and it was fantastic. It was definitely needed. I just kicked my feet up, watched TV, read a book. Cool.
Nice.
Just what I needed.
Yeah, it's the cat days of summer, and it's good to just be lazy, lay around like a cat does, and just chill. Yeah, seriously chill. Were you woken up this morning with the alerts on your phone?
I sure was. I was just like, okay, why is my phone going crazy? So I meant to sleep in, and then that woke me up, and I was like, that's not cool. What is this? And then I looked, and I was like, oh, I don't know what was happening at the point in time. Like, I still don't know. Obviously, I haven't checked the news or anything.
No.
I just assumed it was gangland stuff. Again, that's what I assumed.
Turns out it wasn't. From the reports that I've heard is somebody went crazy and started shooting homeless people. And I guess 3 people are dead. 2 homeless people are dead. The suspect's dead. And another person that he shot is in hospital. I think there was 4 people shot altogether, 3 dead and 1 injured. And it was at 2 to 3 locations, something like that. So they were just, I guess, alerting everyone to, stay out of that area, don't go into that area, or if you're in that area, stay at home. But yeah, all of a sudden 6:20 a.m. I get my first alert. I got a couple other alerts. One that finally said, the suspect has been caught or something, and no longer a threat or something. But that was bizarre. That was really weird. Yeah, and I guess because there have been gang shootings and stuff in this area. Yeah, that's where your mind goes to right away. But this was just a crazy incident around here.
Yeah, so that's somebody that just kind of lost his marbles, so to speak, and started shooting up everything and everyone that he could. Well, I'm glad that the cops got their man, got him, and that has now come to an end.
Yeah, we're hearing about it so much in the U.S., and you just don't really think about it much when you're living here in Canada. It's it just kind of shocks you to know that there's danger all about.
Yeah, it is shocking because you kind of think, well, that's what the States do. That's what they do all the time. That's their deal. You don't expect it ever to be close at home like it happened today.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's weird. Glad there's no longer a threat from that individual, and geez, tough way to start a new week. And those alerts are really bizarre. I talked to a lot of people today, and some got the alerts and some didn't. I don't know how they, if it's just a certain cell provider that they can tap into and get that out there. Why it doesn't go to everyone. Some people on the radio today were saying, like, I live in North Van. Why was I alerted by something in Langley? I live in Vancouver and stuff. But you and I travel to all communities every day. And I guess, most people don't really know. I guess the alert system doesn't really know where you work. You might live here, but you might work there. And so, you might be traveling there for work, or, maybe you're off because it's summer holidays and you're going, heading somewhere to the lake or whatever. I don't know. I guess they just got to sort of blanket alert everybody.
Yeah, I think I understand the idea behind it, which is like, if we just get it out to a massive amount of people so that they're just aware. And then those people by word of mouth can make other people aware.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's your coverage. Hopefully people are mindful of what's going on, what the situation is, and that they can take steps to protect themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, well, as I said, I'm glad that's over with. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that for many, many more years now, and we won't have local shootings here. That was pretty alarming. But on to the weekend. My weekend started off pretty incredibly. I got off a little bit late on Friday, and I was listening to the Blue Jays as I was driving home. And they started scoring runs and more runs and more runs and more runs. Did you hear what the score was? Blue Jays against the Boston Red Sox on Friday night. Did you hear how many runs they put up?
Okay, I don't know if I heard it correctly. I thought I did, but was there not an inning where they scored an absurd amount of runs?
Yeah.
Like there was one inning where they scored so much that it was a record, I believe. Am I right?
They got 11 runs in one inning. They set a bunch of records through the game. The score was 28-5 in the end.
Awesome.
They were one hit away from breaking the all-time runs record, which is 30. And Boston had run out of pitchers, and they were using a third baseman to throw, and he was throwing of 40 miles an hour, and they were just looping in, and this guy was up, their catcher, the Jays catcher was up, and there was 2 men on base, and if he hit a home run, they would have had 31 runs, and they would have set the all-time record. And it was awesome. Like, it was just mind-blowing how incredible. And it was their first game after the All-Star break, and they just go in and they just, set all times of records. They scored every single inning through the game. First 5 or 6 innings they got runs, and one inning 11 runs, and it was just amazing to watch. I enjoyed my Friday night so much, just watching them just crush Boston.
That's awesome. What they could have saved that for when I was watching them against the Mariners. That would have been actually better for me. Yeah. I'm glad that they got the win, but it would have been better if I saw it when I was watching them.
I know. Yeah, I heard that from another guy today. He said, I went down to see the Jays and Mariners, and where the hell was that? But yeah, you're right. It's a good way to start the second half. As I said recently, they fired their manager, brought in a new manager. They had the All-Star break. 5 of the Jays got to go to the All-Star game and the festivities. And they came out, they swept Boston this weekend. They outscored them 40-10. And it was amazing. But that was a nice way to start off my weekend. Woke up Saturday, I felt really tired, just chilled Saturday, really, really tired. I felt probably the same as you did. When it starts getting hot, we're working hard. It's time to have a really quiet day. But Sunday, thought, okay, time to get out there and do some fun. And I went to a place where I think pretty much every Black person in the Lower Mainland was at, except you. And it was pretty amazing. It was a musical performance by many artists. There was reggae artists, there was funk, there was rap stars, and a whole mess of artists there. It was a free concert down on Hastings and Clark at the what's the bar called? There's this bar, and they have this outside area, and they just had the concert at this outside area. I'm trying to think of I can't think of the name of the bar, but great time. Fun to watch. You didn't hear about it? It's called Summerville.
Nope. I did. I had no idea it was going on. None. Did not know.
Well, I looked online and it said free concert, and then it said, or you can pay $28 a ticket and also stay for a wrestling event after. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to, do that. I'm not sure. I think I'd rather just go for the music. So went for the music, and right in front of the stage was this wrestling ring. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is where they're having the wrestling. And the concert went from like 3 to 7, and then they were gonna have the wrestling after. And so as the day started progressing, all of a sudden a lot of people started showing up that you could tell were here for the wrestling. And then the wrestlers started showing up. And the wrestling event was called Circus of Death. So quite a few of the wrestlers had makeup, clown makeup, and were dressed in really crazy costumes. And then just about 7 o'clock, they said, hey, everybody, does everybody have their wrestling tickets? Have everybody bought their tickets? And I'm like, should I put my hand up? Should I not put my hand up? And Lorraine puts her hand up, and I'm like, okay, that was good thinking. And all of a sudden, the wrestling event just started, and we got to watch a few hours of crazy shenanigans, laughing our butts off. The event was hilarious. It was awesome. It was one of the most fun events I've seen in years. It was incredible. These guys had come up from the States and put on this big wrestling event right outdoors in this parking lot, and it was phenomenal, man. We laughed so much the whole entire time.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds great, man. Because years ago I've gone to a wrestling event like that, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The thing that sticks out the most to me was there was a female fight, and one of the girls knocks the girl down, and then she goes over and she reaches into a bag and she pulls out all these playing cards, and she flips them down onto the canvas, and then she reaches into the bag again and she pulls out a stapler, and then she holds up the card and she goes over and staples the card to the other girl. And so all of a sudden some guy reaches in and hands her some money, and she takes the money and staples the money to the girl. And then they start fighting like crazy, and there's staples of money all over the girl and cards and stuff. And then one of the girls is laying there and she's all dazed and takes the card and staples it to her forehead, and it stayed there stapled to her forehead the rest of the match. And 50s and 20s are thrown into the ring, and they're getting stapled to each girl. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on here? That was crazy part of it. That one stood out to me when I was thinking about it today.
Yeah. Well, it should. They're stapling stuff onto each other, but also ingenious in the fact that it got people to throw in money. And so to make sure that the money stayed with them, they stapled it to their body. That's why they could leave with the money.
Yeah, it was pretty smart. There was 50s and 20s and 5s and 10s, and oh man, it was crazy. Yeah. I did not know. I didn't know that I would enjoy it. I was standing there next to a couple of guys, and one guy turns to the other guy and said, oh my God, I think my jaw is super sore from smiling and laughing so much. And the other guy's, yeah, I know, my teeth are hurting me. I can't stop smiling and laughing. And we were just jammed in right near the front, and there was just people flipping out of the ring, and there was drinks being spilled on front. The fighters are having drinks and spilling it on the crowd and in and out of the ring. And oh my goodness. I had an absolute ball, and they didn't ask me for any money to, pay the extra ticket. So worked out pretty good.
Oh no, that worked out perfectly. And it sounds like that's a great Sunday. That's a great way to spend your Sunday.
Yeah. The other thing remember last week I was saying I had some issues with the dog and the cat, and I was really starting to, not enjoy their company and all the shenanigans. Well, you can't even believe how many offers of puppies I've had this past week. Do you want one? I got an offer of quite a few people that want me to take on their dogs.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, I'm pretty sure I know what your response was, which was, thank you so much, but no. Heck no. I don't want none of that. Because that's my response too. No, I don't need no puppies. I don't need no kittens. I don't need no pets. I don't even need a bird. No thanks.
Yeah, no, I tried to politely decline as well as I could, but man, it just kept coming all week long. Everybody's just, hey, I got a dog for you. Hey, I got this nice dog. He's house trained better than the one you got. How about this one? How about that one? Holy cow, it was just relentless all week long.
No, yeah, people are trying to do right by you, but what you're trying to tell them is like, no, pets are annoying. They always have these things always coming out of them all the time.
All the
I
time.
hate picking it up. I don't like it.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. F1 was great this weekend. Got to see your cousin put a lot of stuff out online. You catch any of it? Man, he's awesome. He's so awesome. Just love the guy.
No, he's one of the best at his breakdowns for F1. That is his passion. That's what he loves to do. That's what he loves to watch. And he's just very, very, very good at it. Very good at it.
Yeah, no, he's so great. And yeah, he made it fun to watch qualifying and the race and everything. And another huge win for Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton getting second place, best result of the year for him. And fun, yeah, super fun to watch. And we got the UFC. Had another early card. You said you had a lot of trouble finding it online, huh?
It took a while, man. Like, like how I have one of these TV internet protocol boxes. I have one of these. It took a while to figure out what channel it was on. And then I finally find it on a South African channel of all things.
Whoa.
I found it on a South African channel where I'm just like, what is this channel? It's on this? Whatever, man. I found it.
Wow. That's amazing. So you got to see those kind of South African commercials and stuff?
I saw some weird commercials. Yeah, they're weird. But also, too, it was a little bit different, like the way that they did it, because the commercials weren't like, they didn't have commercials all the time. Like, it was just basically what they did was they just had the fight after fight after fight after fight. Like, commercials were very rare, very few and far between. That's for sure.
Well,
very few and far between.
Yeah, I was kind of upset that they didn't have it on local cable. Had to find it. I actually just watched it on Fight Pass because I was having some issues when I was watching it on a streaming service, and yeah, for it to not be, it wasn't a pay-per-view. You thought they might not show the whole prelims, but early card, they had showed the card last weekend, but yeah, it was weird that they weren't showing it locally here.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, because like they've done that now a couple times, and it's almost as if there's always a couple scheduled events that are just purely for Fight Pass, and that's it. It's the only way that you can watch it. It's just purely for Fight Pass, and you're kind of out of luck if you're trying to find it somewhere else.
Yeah. Or
if you're like myself, where you have to search forever to find it on this obscure sports channel from freaking South Africa.
Yeah. You don't have Fight Pass currently?
No, I don't have Fight Pass right now.
Oh man, get it. Yeah, it's $10 a month or something cheap, and it's brilliant. 200 plus events a year, and everything. You can watch the prelims and the pay-per-views the next couple days, and yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I get it. It's the best money you'll ever spend.
That's a good idea. I think I'm going to have to invest, because like sometimes it can be very challenging to try to find these events somewhere else.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah. 2 weeks in a row, the main event gets derailed from an injury this week. 15 seconds into the main event, we've got a catastrophic injury. Tom Aspinall gets a MCL tear, has to undergo surgery. I think it's happening tomorrow, from what I hear. And yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a fairly long recovery. Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier before the podcast started. Hard to know if it was from the kick or when his foot landed back on the canvas. I don't know, exactly what happened, but it doesn't really matter. Once that foot came down, he just started writhing in pain, fell down, and yeah, fight was over. sad way for a very anticipated main event to not go through.
Yeah, because at the beginning there, it looked like it was going to be gangbusters. It looked like the fight this is going to be one heck of a great fight. It's going to be a great tilt. Then he threw that kick, and then he stepped backwards, and then it was over as quickly as it began. And it sucked. It was very disappointing. Obviously, both fighters were super disappointed in the outcome. Yeah. But hopefully, at some point in time, maybe in the future, they can do it again. But you don't know, because it's going to take Aspinall a long time for him to recover from that injury.
Yeah, sure is. It's tough. Yeah, because he had such a great performance against Volkov in the fight before, and you thought that this is a meteoric rise for him. Another London card, and Blaydes being fourth in the division, and it's very, very, very tough. It looks like Blaydes is going to fight the winner between Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa. I'm obviously looking forward to that tilt, and then Blaydes supposedly gets the winner of that. So two exciting fights to look forward to.
Yeah, and also too, I believe Blaydes even asked for that fight, because he's just like, you know what, I'm upper echelon fighter. I deserve to fight somebody next to get me to the point where I can challenge for the belt. Yeah. And so that's what he called out, and I'm glad that they agreed with him, because they're like, no, that makes sense. Yeah. And it does.
And Francis Ngannou still recovering from his injury. Not sure exactly when he's coming back, but you and I speculated that we might not see him this year. We might see him go and fight Tyson Fury, fight doing another promotion, boxing or something. And so one of these guys might be holding the belt by the time it's all said and done of this year.
Yeah. And that could be very, very likely a scenario, because of the fact that they're still in contract negotiations, but I haven't heard anything about that. Like, I haven't heard any movement. Like, I don't even know if they're even talking still, to be honest with you. So
doesn't seem like it, does it?
No, not at all. Haven't heard anything on that front.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, but have not heard a word. So the other guys in the mix are obviously Stipe Miocic, John Jones. Keep rumors that he's going to be in there at the top. Derek Lewis, but the heavyweight division, I thought was going to be a little clearer after this one. Not really, but I guess Blaydes will probably get the winner of that next fight between Gane and Tuivasa.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then probably what the UFC is going to do, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to do this. They'll probably have that person, whoever wins that fight between Blaydes and whoever, between Tuivasa and Gane, will probably get an interim heavyweight belt.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. I know that's what's probably going to happen, for sure.
Yeah, so as I said off the top, 2 weeks in a row, the main event gets marred by an injury. Brian Ortega separating his shoulder last week, and having to fall out of that one. This card was brought towards England again because of the great card that they had there in March, and 13 bonuses handed out, finish after finish after finish, and super exciting. No cards there for about 3 years. And Dana said, yeah, I'm going to try to get a card here as soon as I can. He was able to, and this one just definitely didn't live up to that last one, and really wasn't, all in all, a really great card.
Yeah, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. The first time they went to England, obviously the card was gangbusters. It was incredible. And this one, not so much. And it happens, man. They can't all be winners.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there was still a number of actually very good fights, entertaining fights on this card.
The two stars really of the show were Paddy Pimblett and Molly Meatball McCann. Those two really just seemed to electrify the crowd. They just seemed to get the crowd really into it. They seem to be kind of a match made in heaven, those two together. They're both on meteoric rises. I think, Molly might be a little closer to the top echelon of her division. Paddy, I think, lost that first round and, ended up getting a good submission win, but I don't know him stepping up too much in competition quite yet. I think, he's talented, but I don't think in that lightweight division, he's really ready for top 10 type of guys. Maybe even not even top 15.
Not yet, but I do like the fact that his team is bringing him along actually at a very good pace. Like they're doing it proper with him.
Nice.
They're not trying to rush him or anything else like that. They're giving him like quality competition that's always a little bit more of a step up. And I think that's exactly what he needs.
Yeah.
And also too, from these little step ups, he's not blowing these guys out. He's having to face adversity to beat these guys.
Yeah.
Again, he did it with Jordan Levitt. Like you said, Levitt beat him in that first round, won that first round through his wrestling. But then Paddy managed to turn the tables on Levitt, and he took his time doing it. That's the one thing I was super impressed by with Pimblett, that he took his time doing it, and he was very technical as he was doing it. Eventually got his back, got the rear naked choke, and that's all she wrote after the second. But, I think they're bringing him along quite well. I think his coaches are doing an excellent job with him.
Yeah, I was trying to look through the lightweight division and trying to see who he should fight. I heard craziness over the last couple of days, like, oh, him and Conor McGregor should have a huge fight in the UK and they'd probably get 2 million pay-per-view buys. And I'm like, he's not ready for Conor McGregor. Are you kidding me? He's not ready for even maybe top 15 guys. Like, he's gotta come along well and, keep getting these wins, keep getting more experience, getting wins under his belt and getting confidence and, give him a year or two. Like, why do they want to rush him? He's gonna, face somebody that's too good, has too much experience. It's gonna derail him, knock him out, and then all of a sudden nobody gives a crap about him anymore. I hate when they do that.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either, because like it's pretty clear that he's a special talent, but he's not upper echelon yet.
No.
I think he can definitely get there, but it's going to take him time.
Yeah.
It's going to take him time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with him taking time to do that. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Exactly, agree. Yeah. Let's switch back to the co-main event, where Jack Hermansson, after losing to Sean Strickland, there was a little bit of pressure on him. But I thought he fought an absolutely brilliant fight against Chris Curtis. He was supposed to fight Darren Till on this fight. Darren Till got injured and couldn't fight in. Curtis came in as a replacement and was very frustrated with Hermansson. But to me, he fought one of the best technical fights you'll ever see. Didn't put himself into any harm's way. Fought a perfect performance, and Curtis just should have done something different to change the outcome of that.
Yeah, of course, because okay, so I'll start with Curtis first. He did not cut off the octagon well enough. He chased Hermansson around, and Hermansson was leading him like with a horse with a carrot on a stick. Literally, that's what he was doing. Just led him around the entire octagon. His distance management was perfect.
No.
And he fought at the distance he knew that he would be comfortable at. Incorporated a ton of kicks,
Yeah.
calf kicks to the body, kept the distance,
Brilliant.
popped the jab when he needed it to, but made sure to not let Curtis get into his striking range where he's very effective at his boxing. Would not let him get into range.
Yeah.
Would not let it happen,
No.
which is what frustrated Curtis to the point that at the end of the fight, he's just fingering him, all this other stuff, and Hermansson is just like, what do you want from me, man? I fought my fight and I won. I beat you. You didn't fight your fight. That's your problem.
Yeah. His cornermen were imploring him to cut off the cage. They said he's exiting the same way every time. If you cut him off, you'll be able to, attack him. You'll be able to hit him. And Curtis just wasn't able to employ that game plan at all. And yeah, just looked frustrated. I've heard that Hermanson and Curtis are two of the nicest guys in the sport. You don't really expect to see bad blood and fingering and swearing at each other, but great to see later on social media that they actually got together, apologized to each other, and ended up having some food and a beer together.
Yeah, like I saw that on the Instagram, and you know what I did? I hearted it. That's nice. A heart. Yeah, it was perfect. You know, and you boys deserve a heart. There you
Nice.
go.
And you don't give out hearts very easily either. So yeah, that's a big thumbs up for those guys.
No, that's a big deal for me, right? Like usually I give out hearts to like things like, oh, is that a tiger? Is that a tiger being petted by a human? Heart. You get a heart.
Okay.
That's what I do. And very rare that I give hearts to human beings. So those guys should be incredibly impressed with themselves.
Yeah. So I liked some of the stuff that Jack said after the fight. He said he was really frustrated with MMA being illegal in Norway. And I heard a Norwegian politician responded to him today and said that he was really happy that Jack said that in the cage because they are working really, really hard to try to make this happen. And they think that with his help and a little bit more public support, they'll be able to get mixed martial arts legal in Norway by the end of the year.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. It's really weird law that MMA would be illegal in a country. That's just weird.
Yeah.
It's super. It's very odd. Like in this day and age, it's like, well, why is it illegal? Because it's like why?
Yeah.
Like it's a sport. It's competition.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? Anyways, hopefully that gets rectified by the end of the year. And then wouldn't that be awesome if the UFC could go to Norway?
Yeah.
If they could have like events in Norway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
He said, yeah, he hopes that they can go there and he hopes to be on the card. He said that Derek Brunson has announced that he will be retiring after his last fight. And he said it would be an honor to fight Derek Brunson for his last fight ever. I never heard that Derek had made that announcement, but I heard the call out today, and I think that would be just a phenomenal fight. I hope they make that happen.
I think that's a great fight. That's a great fight, man. Like, especially like Hermanson being the honorable man that he is and respecting Brunson for his craft and saying it would be an honor just to fight you for your last fight. Because if I'm Derek Brunson, I'd be like, well, I got no problem with that. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hope they make that fight.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that would be amazing. He said he went into the cage with a little bit of a heavy heart because he's trained in Sweden for many years with Alexander Gustafsson, and Alexander got an early knockout in his performance. People are starting to wonder if his chin has eluded him and he's not capable of continuing his career. We'll see, when things shake out over the next few weeks, months for him. But that was quite shocking. I did not see that coming. Such a quick KO. Nikita Krylov just dominated him. Boom, took him out.
Yeah, took him out quick. To the point that I saw it and I'm like, sometimes with fighters, you only have a certain number of hits in the body, especially when it comes to your chin. And it looked to me like this might be coming to the end right now.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it before with other fighters. We've seen it with Chuck Liddell. All of a sudden, you could take every punch you could ever throw at him until he couldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that's what it looks like that's happening to Gustafsson. And if it is, all right, but the man's had an incredible career in the UFC. He really has. So he's had nothing to be ashamed of. Absolutely.
The greatest Swedish fighter of all time for sure. And, a guy that, came just a whisper away from, wrestling the belt from the greatest of all time. A lot of people's minds is John Jones. A lot of people, thought that was Gustafsson's win. And that is in the Hall of Fame, that fight. incredible performance by Gustafsson. He's been, in that light heavyweight division, one of the top guys for so many years. When he went up to heavyweight, didn't go well. You thought coming back down here to light heavyweight was going to be, another run, another great performance. But I don't know. I never asked for a guy to retire, but it was shocking to see the end come so quick. And, you got to wonder, he got knocked down so easy, got up, and then got knocked down again with something that didn't look, too tough of a punch. But his legs just gave out, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. So you look at that, you look at the previous performances, and you're like, oh, things are not. I'm beginning to see a pattern here, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Not looking good at all. Krylov ended up getting in talking, asked for Volkan Ozdemir, who was on this card as well, wants to fight him in Abu Dhabi. That's coming up pretty soon in October. We'll see if the UFC makes that happen. Okay, we mentioned Molly, Meatball, McCann off the start. When these two walked into the cage, the thing that I thought of is, man, I can't believe how popular she is in the UK. This is amazing. Great to see, a female getting that much attention and that much, love and support. And then the other thing, I looked over at Hannah Goldie that she fought and thought, whoa, like the shoulders on Hannah Goldie, the shape she's in. Molly wasn't scared of her at all, but I sure think I would have been.
She was jacked. Like I remember I looked at her and was like, wait, who's that? Like, oh man. I was like, for myself, as I was looking at her, I'm like, McCann must be like, oh, this is gonna be different. Like she looked rather intimidating. Yeah. Rather intimidating. But clearly Meatball, not intimidated, not taken by the moment whatsoever, and took her out. First off, with the huge overright, got the spinning elbow in there. I guess that's removed now. Awesome.
Two KOs in a row with a spinning elbow. Yeah.
Yes, 2 fights in a row with the spinning elbow, and then just a flurry of punches and just took her out. Yeah. And I was just like, that's impressive. Yeah. That's it. That's super impressive, man. And then I loved what she had to say post-fight, where she was just like, like, it feels great that I'm like one of those female athletes that the crowd actually gets behind. Yeah. And I think that was fantastic. She's by far and away, she's one of my favorite fighters now. She's got that energy. And it's just like when her and Paddy are together, they're like mischievous, like brother and sister. Like, like you remember when you were growing up and you got that one brother and sister, is like, don't hang out with those two. They're always going to get you in trouble. You're always just going to get up to no good with those two. That's what they remind me of. They just have so much fun. And I'm just always entertained by them, especially Molly. Yeah,
she's so super fun and definitely a massive crowd favorite. Just couldn't believe two amazing performances in a row, and was able to get 50K for her troubles. Paddy got 50K too for his big win. The other thing that I noticed is she made 2 call outs. So she called out Miranda Maverick and she called out Antonina Shevchenko. She said that eventually she wants to face Valentina Shevchenko. Not even close to being ready yet, but love to take out her sister and then work towards getting Valentina at one point. Pretty smart call out. Why not? And I hope she gets to fight both of those girls.
I do. I'm actually I would more look forward to the Maverick call out, because I think that would be a great fight. Yeah. I think they have somewhat similar skill sets, and Maverick herself, she's in pretty good shape as well. Yeah. It would be a great fight.
Be cool. Yeah. Hopefully it happens soon. They can capitalize on this popularity right now. UFC should run her out, in the next couple months. Her and Paddy should be fighting 1 or 2 more times this year, and just keep them at it. Don't don't give them, too high level of competition, but keep them top of mind. And yeah, they have become two of the faces of the UFC right now, and especially in Europe, UK, and it'd be fun to see them how they're treated, in the States, if they can fight in Vegas or one of the cards that are somewhere around the States. Do you think they'll still receive quite a bit of cheers and love when they're in the US?
Oh man, tough. That's a great question. Because obviously they're going to get the love from their home country, but you know what? I'm gonna say yes, because I think they get over with the fans so well, and especially her.
Yeah.
They're both genuine people. People love it when people are genuine and they're not putting on an act. And those two are most certainly not putting on an act. So I think so. I think she'll get over.
I couldn't believe she drank like half a bottle of whiskey after the fight. In the press conference, she's just tipping it back. Paddy's eating and she's drinking, and they're laughing and having a great old time in the press conference there. Did you get to see the post-fight press conference a little bit?
Like I said, they're mischievous. They're just bad for you. Like, it's like, if you were to go out with those two, you'd be like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna make it from this night. I really don't know.
I know.
Like, that's the kind of energy they bring. But it's infectious and it's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't wait to see them again. I hope they can schedule them to fight together on another card very soon, and it'll be fun. To kick off the main card, another home country kind of guy, a guy that is from the UK, a Scottish guy, Paul Craig. You and I talked about him and Volkan Ozdemir going in, and he said, look out. You don't want to give him your arm. You don't want to give him a leg. He's going to just tear it off. That was a bizarre fight, though. Paul Craig just kept flopping onto his back, trying to bring him to him so he could try to grab an arm, a leg, snap him. It wasn't fun to watch. I wish Paul Craig would have done his own takedowns and then, tried to, get some kind of submission move. But Ozdemir just kept saying, no, get up. I'm not going to the ground with you, and not going to the ground. And it just was not a fun fight to watch.
First off, I want to say this. Clearly, Volkan was listening to our podcast, because I told him, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't go to the ground. Guess what he didn't do? Did not go to the ground. He's like, yeah, that dude had a point, so I'm not going to do that.
He listened to you for sure.
Yes, he did.
He did.
But here's the thing that I did notice, though, in the fight, where whenever Craig would go for a double or a single, it was almost like Volkan Ozdemir and those freaking tree trunk legs of his. It's like he ran into a wall every time. And then it was just like, he couldn't generate anything after that. Like, it was just like, that guy's base was so freaking strong that he couldn't take him to the ground. He could not take him to the octagon. So he always tried to pull guard. And then whenever you do that, it does look kind of weird, because it's like, all right, okay, so since you couldn't get him down, now you're inviting him you'll take whatever you can get.
Yeah.
To me, it never looks good. It never looks good when you fight like that, because you give the impression that you're losing the fight.
Yeah.
You do. You give the impression that you're losing the fight. And so what Craig needs to work on, as far as I'm concerned, is stand-up needs work, right? And then also, too, the technique of getting the man to the ground, maybe like chaining takedown attempts, go for the single and go for the double, or just turning the pipe, turning the angle of the takedown. Something needs to change there, because if you fight guys of his caliber that have that strong base, you're never going to take down there. Not going to happen.
No, yeah, it was really disappointing, and you're right. Yeah, he just he needed to do something different. Just kept running up against Volkan and was not gonna let him take him to the ground. And it was a pretty easy win. 30-27 across the board, unanimous decision. Just zero takedowns. It's just not something that we thought we would see from Craig, and we thought he would be able to get him down at some point. Defended 15 takedown attempts, and all those pulling guard. Just never went to the ground with him, and an easy win for Ozdemir. Unfortunately, because I love hearing Paul Craig talk, and I love the submissions that he puts on. Usually, I'm very, very, very entertained, but this fight just did not live up to any kind of billing at all.
No, it didn't. It was unfortunate, but Ozdemir had the right game plan, which is don't go to the ground, work on that takedown defense. And literally, whenever he did try to take him down, it almost looked like Craig ran into a wall. Like it was just like pop, and then it was just like, I cannot go any further.
Yeah,
That's it.
You're right. Yeah. Okay, let's switch to the prelims. The crazy thing about the prelims for me was that out of all the fights, they talked to only one guy. They had scheduled 8 fights on the prelims, and they were trying to fit that into 3 hours. Because there was only one fight that didn't go the distance, they were overtime, and they weren't able to get in the cage and talk to the guys after the win. And I missed that. I thought it was brutal. They were running them, but especially some of the UK guys, some of the guys that are fan favorites, to not get a chance to actually speak after a big win. I hated it. I thought, what the hell? Somebody really screwed up here.
Yeah, it was weird, right? Because as I'm watching it, I was thinking to myself, have I ever seen it where the fights are just like after another fight's done, next one. Oh, I'm like, wow, man, like it felt weird.
Yeah.
It felt odd.
Yeah.
Super odd.
The only finish was JSP, not GSP. We got this Jonathan, I don't even know what his middle name is, Pierce, gets the TKO win over Makwan Amirkhani, Mr. Finland. Great performance by him, and nice to see one finish. I was pretty shocked that out of 8 fights, we only had one finish out of them all. What did you think of that one in particular?
Well, you know what? I was super impressed with Pierce, because he figured out, him and his camp figured out a way of how to attack Amirkhani. And the greatest weapon that he used were those elbows. Whenever he was in like that position of getting near to being taken down, and if Amirkhani's like head was close to it, pop, like he was just feed him those elbows after elbows, buckled them too. The one time in the first round. And so I thought that it was that in-between fighting, like where you're grappling for position, where he figured out where he can hit him. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was brilliant on his team's part to figure that part out.
Yeah, well, he cut Makwan pretty early with the elbows. They had some crazy scrambles early, but every time that Amirkhani tried to get him to the ground, he just started feeding him elbows. The ground and pound that ended it was very lethal when Dan Movahedi stepped in and stopped it. 4-fight win streak. He's got 10 KOs, finished I finished 12 of his 13 wins. And great performance against a really, really tough guy in Makwan Amirkhani. Yeah,
it was great performance, great win. I actually didn't think he was going to win this fight, but it was super impressive. Yeah. I was impressed again with just how he was able to attack Amirkhani and take him out of his game. Yeah.
Nathaniel Wood looked really amazing. Also an English guy that I thought was going to have some troubles with Charles Rosa. This fight, if it was in boxing, it would have been something like 10-5, 10-4. There was more knockdowns in this fight than I remember ever seeing. If this is boxing, they probably would have called it way, way earlier. I've never seen somebody get knocked down that many times and still keep continuing and fighting and fighting and fighting. But Nathaniel Wood looked awesome.
Oh, he looked tremendous. Like Rosa clearly was ridiculously outclassed on his feet. Like he did not have a chance on his feet. All right. And then also too was just it was just systematic the way that he broke him down. Took out his legs. That calf kick was lethal. His combinations were accurate and efficient, and he just took his time and he sniped him. He just took him apart piece by piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got an official how many times Rosa hit the canvas, but those calf kicks must have knocked him down half a dozen times, and other times where he just caught him off balance and was able to put him down. It was insane. It was his nickname is the Prospect. I don't think he's a prospect anymore. I think he's a contender, and I really look forward to seeing him. Somebody else that can give him a bit better showing, but holy cow, lethal, accurate, deadly, amazing, everything, flawless performance by Wood.
Well, absolutely flawless performance by Woods. He did everything correct, and especially with the fact that he's been out of the octagon for a long period of time. But he's clearly been working on his craft, because he looked absolutely fantastic in that fight.
Yeah. Okay. I want to mention Mohamed Mokaev fighting Charles Johnson, who was making his UFC debut in there. Mokaev set a flyweight record with 26 takedown attempts and 12 takedowns. Absolutely relentless on his takedown attempts, just over and over and over and over. I heard people call it boring today, but I thought it was entertaining, and it was just masterful how he just kept at it, and just kept taking the guy down. It was impressive in my opinion.
His cardio was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand how much energy that takes for him to do that for 3 rounds consecutively, over and over and over again. I'll give Johnson this, though. I'll give him credit for this. His defense when defending the grappling and taking damage, he did actually really good in that.
True.
He just couldn't defend being taken down.
Yeah.
After that, he actually covered up pretty well from taking damage after being taken down. But, when you have a guy that's a complete savage like that and is just on you for the entirety of 15 minutes and just wrestles you like that, that was what was impressive to me, because it's like, wow, that guy's got a gas tank that goes for days. That's amazing.
Mokaev is now a UK citizen, has lived in the UK for many years, had a huge amount of crowd there as well. He was born in Russia, but he's a UK citizen. He said he got some criticism from Paddy Pimblett before that he should not be considered a UK fighter. He wasn't born there. Forget him. No way. We should be honoring a guy that was born in Russia and is now considered a UK guy. Pimblett's like, forget him. So Avloev has said, Mokaev has said, I'm going to crush Pimblett at some point. They're in different weight classes right now, but he said he usually walks around. He's fighting at 125. He usually walks around 155. He said, I can fight 145 easy. He said, I was 145 when I walked into the cage on Saturday. So he's like, I'm going after Pimblett. Hopefully I can get him before he, goes to heights that, they won't let me get him to. But I guess there's a bit of animosity there between these two.
Yeah, that's always fun to see. A little bit of animosity. Although I kind of have to think to myself, would he be a little too small to take on Paddy? I'm sorry, man, because you look at where he fights and where Paddy fights. Yeah. Okay, so you go up to that dude's still going to be a lot bigger than you.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah. So good call out. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I guess we'll see.
He also made a call out. I saw he's called out 3 different guys: Jeff Molina, Tim Elliott, and Brandon Royval. He said he's going to smash all 3 of those guys. Just one of them step up and take a fight. He also said that one of the sheikhs from Bahrain, one of the head guys in Bahrain, said that he would give him $100,000 if he was able to finish Charles Johnson. And so people got word out and asked him over the weekend, so you didn't finish him, did you still get the 100K? And he said, yeah, the guy still gave me the 100K, even though I didn't get the finish. So he said, yeah, I was just counting my money all weekend long.
That's not bad. What a great gift to get,
amazing.
Because you didn't get the performance that you wanted to actually get the money, but the guy still gave you the money, which is just fantastic. That's awesome. It's
so great. Yeah, so cool. I was pretty blown away. Speaking of bonuses, did you hear about Dana White giving a buddy of his $500,000 for his birthday present?
No. Was he a former fighter? Why would he do that?
No.
He really likes this guy, eh? Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
He has been getting so much flack online from all fighters all over for giving this present out. Guys are like, hey, where the hell's my money? Why is he handing out this kind of money? I'm trying to find here who the friend of his is, but I don't have it right in front of me. But you didn't see any of the social media backlash?
No, I didn't, but I could imagine what it would be like, but at the same time, how could there be backlash? That's his own money. He can do whatever the heck he wants with his own money. It's not like he went into the UFC coffers and said, well, I'm just gonna have to borrow $500,000. I hope everybody's okay with that, right? No, man, it's his own money. He can do whatever he wants, man. So
I'm sorry, it's not $500,000, it's $250,000. So this was to a friend of his named Kyle Forgard. He just gave him a box, and when he opened it, they're shooting the video, and he opened it up, and there was $250,000 in cash in there. And holy cow, you can't even believe how much backlash he's got for giving this prize out. I think it might have been a big mistake, because I just got Aljamain Sterling, John Fitch, Dan Hardy, Alan Jobin, Louis Smoke, just guys just going off on him, just so much. So many guys just hating it, saying, where's my money? My birthday's coming. My performance deserves more money than this, and on and on and on and on. Oh man, it could have been one of Dana White's biggest mistakes.
You've got to know that if you're going to do something like that and then put it on your social media, that there's going to be backlash. Like you have to know that. Like, I know that Dana White's he's not an idiot.
No,
he's actually quite intelligent. He's got to know that was going to happen. But at the same time, like I said before, it is his own money, and he's allowed to do whatever the heck he wants to do with his own money. All right. But the backlash is always going to be there, because you suppress fighter pay like nobody else. You're really good at it. That's why the UFC is so successful. So when you do things like that, fighters notice. They go, really? Hey, really? You're just give your buddy $250,000 like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But when I ask for money, it's like, no, I'm sorry. I can't give you $40,000 for this fight. I'm sorry. I give you 20. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah. Geez. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if the thought would have crossed his mind at all. It probably did, but I guess I probably just wouldn't have posted it on social media or had anybody even allowed to, right?
Yeah, that would have been the easiest way to avoid all of this.
No.
Just don't post it. But in this day and age, people are like, well, how can I not post it? I've got to post it. It's got to happen like that. Like, if I don't post it, people won't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I do want to mention we saw Canadian Kyle Nelson on the card. Thought it had a good performance. Unfortunately, Jai Herbert beat him by decision, but I think it was the takedown in that third round that the victory. And yeah, huge cheer from a home crowd for another UK guy.
Yeah. Herbert got the win, but I was still very impressed with Nelson's fight and the way that he fought. I thought his stand-up looked great. It was a very close fight. I believe Herbert won it in the third when he did get that takedown and managed to keep top position for the entirety of the third. But yeah, I really was impressed by how Nelson fought Herbert, and he dealt with Herbert's incredible speed quite well. It was a very, very good fight. It was unfortunate that the Canadian came out with the loss, but I think going forward for him, I think he's got a bright future. He's a great fighter.
Yeah. Oh no, I love Kyle Nelson, and yeah, I think there's some great victories ahead for him. No problem. Yeah, it's just came out on the wrong side of that decision, but no big deal, I don't think. Do you want to mention anything else? I liked Dalby's performance. I thought it was pretty good just to kick off the card. Yeah.
I was going to mention I really like Diaz Casey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Diaz Casey. I love the fact that he's lately been mixing up his fight strategy, and it came out and grappled this dude and destroyed him in the grappling contest. Absolutely blew him out.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I think he could have blown him out on his feet anyways, but he took the path of least resistance and beat him that way. And I was impressed. I was impressed with the fact that now Diaz Casey has the tools to not just beat you in the stand-up, but he can actually grapple you and beat you that way as well. The only thing that he needs to change with that, he needs to add in some ground and pound. It feels like to me he's not comfortable with it yet. He has the positioning and all of that sort of stuff. He just needs to add that last little part to his grappling repertoire, and he's going to be awesome after that.
Yeah, great analysis of it. I agree with everything you say. I just didn't think that he went for the win. He just didn't seem to go for the kill. He was great at the takedowns, and I don't think Hadjovic was even prepared for that type of fight. I think he thought it was going to be a stand-up war, and he was just absolutely shocked that's how DeCasey went after him. Great takedowns, great control on the ground, but just not that killer instinct. No ground and pound, no finishing that he should have tried for, and should try to get a bonus and try to get a big convincing one.
Yeah, that was the only knock that I have on him in his performance. He did the takedowns, he out-grappled the guy. It was all about the positioning, but he never added in the punishment part of all of that. And if he had done that, I think he could have got this guy out of there quicker than what he did. We would have gone to decision.
Yeah. In the feature fight on the prelims, Ludovic Klein against Mason Jones, there was one point when Ludovic Klein threw a kick that was one of the coolest kicks I've ever seen in mixed martial arts. He jumped up in the air and all of a sudden just flipped and did the kick while he was way up in the air. It was spectacular. I can't wait to see it again. I never got a chance to watch it on replay again today, but that performance was great. Ended up just being a decision, but I think he controlled most of this fight, and but that kick I'm gonna remember for a while, and I want to put it on like a screensaver or something, because it was like Matrix, like it was so awesome.
Yeah, the jumping roundhouse kick. It was fantastic. When he did it, I was just like, what's he doing? Oh, I was just like, oh man. I was shocked, and I was just like, wow, that was freaking awesome. Yeah. And he beat a guy in Mason Jones he was undefeated. That was his first L. Yeah. Klein looked unbelievable. I was so impressed with him. His combination striking, like everything. Like, yeah, he brought the total package. Gave that guy's first loss, and it was well deserved win by Klein.
Yeah,
Very.
I loved his performance, and yeah, he really yeah was just awesome. Every part of the fight was just great, and he's Mr. Highlight for a reason. Yeah, very big highlights in in that performance, and especially that kick. Yeah, if you're watching or listening to this, man, try to find that Ludovic Klein kick. It was super cool. Don't watch it in slow motion. Watch it in real time, and yeah, it blew me away. It really cool. Let's look ahead to next weekend. We've got another pay-per-view, the 2nd of July, second pay-per-view in the month of July. 5 cards in July this year, so we're treated to 2 pay-per-views. And this one, we've got 2 titles on the line. We've got they're both rematches. Got the rematch between Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes, through the last fight, I will say that to the day that I die, she must have got a payoff and decided to throw it. And Juliana Pena, probably had the biggest shock in the history of women's mixed martial arts. I suspect Amanda's gonna win this if she brings her full game. I can't see she wouldn't win it, but after that last performance, I'm not throwing any money on her.
Question marks, right? Question marks, because it's like I never conceived of her losing the first fight with her.
Yeah.
Then it happened. So now I look at this fight and I think to myself, she should win, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Like if she does what she did last fight, she's definitely not going to win. She's going to get blown out again.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what version of Amanda Nunes comes out for this fight. Is it the version that wants her belt back? Because if that version comes out, I don't know if Pena is going to stand a chance.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know if she's going to stand a chance. But if it's the other person that we saw that I've never seen before, well, then she's not going to win.
We watched that fight live together, and but I do forget the name of that place. It used to be called the Charles Bar. What's it called now? Do you remember what it's called now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
No, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah. Anyway, we watched that fight live, and I was so angry. I was so upset. I couldn't even believe she tapped to a choke that wasn't even underneath her chin. Yeah, and it just I'm still mad about it. I just feel like Amanda, just gave up through the fight for some weird reason, and yeah, she was at the time considered the greatest mixed martial arts female of all time, and some people still consider that. I think that Valentina Shevchenko has surpassed her in that regard, and if she doesn't win this fight, look out. She's going to start, tumbling down the rankings, and people are going to wonder what the hell happened. I know she had a kid. She didn't birth the kid, but, I don't know, if something mentally has changed for her. But yeah, if she brings that same performance, Pena's going to win easy. If we see the old Amanda, I think Amanda wins easy, but yeah, we just have no clue which Amanda's going to show up.
No, we really don't. And like you just said, like I think it's either going to be a very easy win for Pena or going to be a very easy win for Nunes. I guess it really comes down to her where she is mentally at for this particular fight. Wherever she is, that's what's going to happen. So, but I'm hoping that the best woman in mixed martial arts is going to show up again, and then she's going to dominate. Like that's the Amanda Nunes I've always appreciated watching.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, amazing. She's had an absolutely incredible career, and we've been treated to so many great performances. So yeah, yeah, hopefully we get to see another great one, and this is a heck of a fight. We'll see. The co-main has Brandon Moreno defending his belt against Kai Kara France. These guys fought against each other, and Kai Kara France got the win before, a decision win at UFC 245 December of 2019 in Vegas. And ever since, Brandon has been on a meteoric rise. He did lose to Davison Figueiredo, but yeah, he's back there. He's right up there, and Kai France, yeah, is a hell of an opponent. This should be an amazing battle, I think.
I think this is going to be a knockout, drag-out affair. I think these guys are going to come after each other. Kai France has to look at this and be like, "This is my shot. I take this guy out, then I'm fighting for the belt." You know what I mean? Like this is it. This is my opportunity. Yeah. So I would imagine that he's going to be coming out guns a-blazing. But Brandon Moreno doesn't shirk from anybody, doesn't shy away from combat, that's for sure. So this should be, if it's not the best fight on the card, it'll be really close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm excited and really looking forward to it. It should be incredible. Heavyweight battle between Derek the Black Beast Lewis and Sergey Pavlovich should shape up to be phenomenal. Love seeing the Beast fight, and he's always entertaining.
No, he's always entertaining, and also too, I believe he has been mentioning how he's trying to become a slimmer Black Beast. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what kind of shape he comes into for this particular fight. So that will be very good. Kind of disappointing though. I want to point this out, that the Rockhold Costa fight is not happening.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. I thought that could have been awesome.
That could have been amazing. Yeah. Yeah. We're really looking forward to that one for sure. I'm looking forward to Anthony Smith, Magomed Ankalaev. That'll be great. Let's see, on the prelims, we got Semmelsberger against Morano. That'll be great. Drew Dober's fighting. Always impressed with him. Drakkar Klose fighting Rafa Garcia. Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very, very good card all the way down. But yeah, unfortunately, that Paulo Costa fight, Luke Rockhold, man, that would have been a heck of a battle.
That would have been a heck of a battle. But also too, maybe he got canceled because Paulo Costa is like, "I don't have enough time to cut." It's like, oh, sorry, I guess you need like 4 or 5 months since you're freaking massive.
Yeah. What is Adesanya called him? An overinflated balloon animal. That's his comment for him. Pretty hilarious. Yeah. But excitement. This is in Boston. And back to our normal times. What do we got? Early prelims start at 3 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock Eastern, and normal 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time for this card out of Boston. So yeah, gonna be I'm sure it's gonna be a hell of a great card. I'm looking forward to UFC 277.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. It's gonna be great. And I'm just very curious to see the main event, to see who shows up. You know, like it's going to be who shows up, because if Amanda Nunes decides to be Amanda Nunes again, I've always thought then there's nobody that can really touch her except for one person, which is my girl Valentina Shevchenko. But that's it. That's it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. There was a couple of UFC news. Okay, the fight between Nate Diaz and Khamzat Chimaev has been finalized. They will be fighting. A lot of fighters are very critical of the UFC for giving Nate Diaz Khamzat for Nate's last fight in the promotion. They think that this is going to be it for Nate. Dan Hardy has ripped the UFC. Charles Oliveira. Who else? Leon Edwards has voiced his displeasure. Many fighters said this is not cool for the UFC to be putting Nate Diaz in front of Khamzat Chimaev, who's obviously younger, stronger, and very more powerful. They're calling it an assassination attempt. Dan Hardy has called the UFC's putting him in with Khamzat. Do you have the same viewpoint?
I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, this Nate's a fighter. He's got his own pride, right? Like, and also too, if he didn't feel comfortable with taking this fight, he wouldn't have taken it, unless we don't know the particulars of what always goes on behind the scenes. Unless the UFC that says something to the effect of either you take this fight or we just retain you and you never get out of your contract because we're never going to offer you another fight, right?
Yeah.
And if they did something like kind of brutal like that, then that's garbage. Because I think Nate deserves better, considering the amount of money that he's generated for the UFC over the many, many years of his service. Deserves better than that. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to ever count Nate Diaz out. I think that I got too much respect for the man to do that.
True.
Right. Yeah. And I understand Kazmat Chimaev. He's a killer. He's that good. Like that fight with Gilbert Burns, that was a barn burner, right?
Yeah.
And so at the same time, do I look at it and I go, could Nate Diaz do that with Gilbert Burns? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But I understand where the other fighters are coming from, and if it does turn out to be a very one-sided affair, then I hope everybody rips the UFC.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, no, Dana, this is what you wanted to see, right? Because like Nate was getting on your nerves, so you just did that to him. Cool. So at least then fighters now know what the lay of the land is. If you go against the UFC, this is how they're going to do you dirty. This is what they're going to do to you at the end of your career.
We'll see. Yeah, Nate Diaz has done so much. The Diaz brothers have done so much for the UFC, and been able to step up and have some really, really big performances. Get some very big pay-per-view buys, and being in there for so many years. I hope they're not doing him dirty with this performance. But supposedly Diaz is talking about fighting one of the Paul brothers. Getting big paydays in other promotions, and I hope he does. I hope if him and the UFC just can't work together anymore, he's able to make a really good retirement income and fade off into the sunset. Teach all the other guys in Stockton how to fight like they do, and I hope this is a competitive fight. If it's not, I'll be quite upset. The UFC, would do this to a guy that's been there, a warrior for them for so many years. Yeah,
and also to a guy that will stand up for himself. He doesn't take crap from anybody. Both of the brothers do, though. Both Diaz brothers don't. So for them to speak up, first off, I think every fighter respects that. Yeah. That they do speak up against them. And, as Nate has said many, many times, I deserve to be paid what I deserve to be paid. Yeah. This is what I've earned through blood, sweat, and tears. So yes, I deserve to be upper echelon being paid because of experience, time spent, and the amount of fights that I put on that have been absolutely spectacular. All right. So yeah, he deserves that. He deserves that.
Yeah. Supposedly there was a altercation at UFC England on Saturday between Alexander Rakic and Jimmy Manoa. Supposedly they were having a bit of they were just having some words, I guess, and Manoa, he said that Rakic said that Manoa sucker punched him. And they had this crazy exchange. I guess Rakic beat Manoa in 2019, and I guess Rakic said he was just leaving the O2 arena, and Manoa came up and said a couple words and then hit him, sucker punched him. I haven't seen any video of it. I don't know if it's caught on video by anybody, but I think we're going to hear quite a bit about this in the coming weeks. I just heard about it a little bit earlier today.
Cool. So we got a fight coming up between Manoa and Rakic. That's good. Yeah. That's always good to see. But it doesn't sound like, number one, that Rakic is going to go the Colby Covington route and press charges.
No.
That doesn't seem to be a thing. Interesting.
Interesting.
So I think
Settle it in the cage. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Let's settle it in the cage. Let's settle in the cage.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's put some MMA to bed for now, and let's talk about a little bit about the NBA. Big news today coming out of the NBA that the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets are really close to a deal with KD, and KD will be a Boston Celtic any day now, from what I hear. Brooklyn keeps asking for more and more and more. Originally, Boston has offered up Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and some draft picks. But Brooklyn wants Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and maybe another guy and some more draft picks. We'll see if Boston keeps sweetening the deal. But what do you think of the news that this looks kind of imminent, that KD will be a Celtic, and they're going to get a king's ransom for him going the other way?
Possible, but you know what? Like, if I'm the Celtics, I gotta approach that super careful, because we just got to the finals with the team we currently have, and on top of that, the team is better because now that they brought in Malcolm Brogdon and Danilo Gallinari. All right, so the team is most certainly better from where they were. All right, and so you're looking at a team that just went to the finals, and now you've improved upon it. So are you willing to literally rip it apart to get KD? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be willing to do that. So, and especially, I understand where the Nets are coming from, because they want to get the most amount for KD, as they should. And they're probably looking at what Danny Ainge did for the Utah Jazz with the Rudy Gobert, and they're like, well, the Minnesota Timberwolves gave away half their team for that dude, right? No. And he's not Kevin Durant. So we want more. Yeah. I don't know if either team is going to budge too much,
right?
Because, and especially if I'm the Celtics, I'm like, man, we were just there, we were close.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's very obvious to me that KD alone will not get you a championship. You already know that, all right? But with the fact that your team got better, you have the possibility of getting KD, but you might have to destroy the team. For me personally, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, nah, I like where we're at. I like the fact that we were just there, and now the team is that much better. We're good.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that this is happening, because like you say, Boston was there, and only a couple games away from getting a title, and it shouldn't blow it up, especially with the additions that they've got in the offseason here. But yeah, from all reports, it sounds like they're talking a lot and trying to put the pieces together, and but we'll see. I've heard Toronto's in the mix, but they don't want to give up Scotty Barnes, who's a guy that they think they want to build their future around. They're talking about Pascal Siakam. They're talking about some of the biggest pieces, OG Anunoby and Scotty Barnes, and just decimating the team to get KD doesn't make sense if you're a NBA owner or GM.
No, it just doesn't. So I got KD, and then I don't have a team, so I got KD.
Yeah.
No team. It just doesn't make any sense to me, and especially with Toronto, with the fact that they drafted all those guys.
Yeah. Why
Why would you give them up? Like you put in all this effort to get this team to where it is right now, and now you're just gonna give them all away? No, man. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why did I invest so much time into creating this team then? Why did I do that? Just to blow it up? No, man. I think sometimes it has to be the right fit, and both teams have to be at a crossroads, kind of like where the Utah Jazz were, where it's we tried this, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Now we go a different route.
Yeah.
Now with Toronto, they're at a point where it's no, we're still building towards something. Not we've tried it and it doesn't work. They're still building towards something. Yeah. They don't know what the future could be. It could be super bright. But if you tear it down now, you'll never know.
You'll never know. Yeah, you'll never know. Exactly. Okay. Speaking of Kevin Durant, his former teammate James Harden has signed his deal. He opted out of his $47 million contract. I said it last week on the podcast that he was going to allow them to sign him for a lot less money so they could build around him and keep a team around him. He did accept the deal for 2 years, $68 million. Sounds like a hell of a lot, but honestly, a lot of people are really shocked that he would walk away from 47 million for 1 year to accept a deal for 2 years for 68. And there has been a lot of speculation around the league that that Harden and the Sixers GM Daryl Morey have some kind of sweetheart deal that he's going to get some more money coming up at the end of this. Maybe, you know, he's got something 2 years down the road. He's going to give him a massive deal. But yeah, kind of a lot of suspicion, a lot of unanswered questions so far that he would, you know, accept this deal. 34 million, obviously a season is awesome, but to walk away for 47 for one, quite surprising.
Super surprising, but also too, maybe incredibly astute on James Harden's part because of the fact that he knows that his reputation is taking quite a hit,
right,
as of late. So by him showing this goodwill, is it an excellent PR move? It might just be.
Yeah.
It might just be, because now he's showing himself to say, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to show you through my actions that I'm most certainly committed to winning, that I'm most certainly committed to the 76ers as a team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not taking your money. I'm going to take less. That's actually quite a powerful thing. That's a huge and powerful statement.
Yeah, well, we'll see if you know, it shakes out. They're talking about, you know, maybe the league's gonna look into it and see if there was some special arrangements that's made that, you know, circumvent some of the rules that they have. But yeah, you know, he said it, and he's so far he's honored that he'll take less so he can prove himself and also have a team around him like KD might not have if he goes to a new team. Might not be anybody else to pass the ball to. Might be 1-on-5 going out there. And you know, I've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast, but I got to mention it again. There's this hilarious video they did on Saturday Night Live with LeBron James and his old Cleveland Cavaliers team, and they had a Roomba, and they had a dog, and they had I think they had a big chubby guy that was a smoker. And they said that you know, LeBron had nobody with Cleveland, but it was kind of true. And KD might be looking at that if he goes to some of the teams that they're rumored to be dealing with.
Yeah, like he would literally be dealing with that. But at the same time, though, you have to remember that was peak LeBron, where he could drag a team of nobodies, misfits, outcasts, and him, and just take them to the finals and have absolutely no business being there, like none.
Yeah. That was 10 straight years LeBron's in the final. Yeah, dragging a lot of guys that, yeah, you wouldn't have thought of it would have ever made a final. So a couple of more notes. Donovan Mitchell has been rumored to be shipped around the league. The Knicks have emerged as the front runner, and lots of pieces are supposedly offered for him. Yeah, it seems like Utah's doing a huge just blowing it out and doing a massive rebuild after getting Rudy Gobert. I thought Mitchell was going to be that centerpiece and build around him, but I'm, you know, quite surprised that they're shopping him around so much, and it looks like he might be going out of town pretty soon.
Yeah, but again, you know, you're dealing with Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge doesn't. If it doesn't benefit him, he will not make the move. Yeah. That's been his history throughout as a GM. Yeah. And like, if you look at the return he got for Rudy Gobert, which still in my mind is the absolute most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm just like, you gave them how many things?
No,
Like 4 or 5 players and like 3 to 4, like the pick. It was amazing.
no,
It was amazing how much he got for it. Now, if he's trying to do the same thing with Mitchell, man, I don't know if you're going to be able to pull that off too as well.
No,
He's
not.
going to get a lot, but I don't know if he can get the same amount as he did from Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. And speaking of the Jazz and the Knicks, they're supposedly 2 of the 3 front runners to try to get Russell Westbrook. He's rumored to be heading to there or Indiana. They're trying to figure out a way to get him and his contract in there. He doesn't seem to be wanted with the Lakers anymore. We'll see if this happens. I kind of think Knicks is where Russell's going to end up.
Could be. Well, like it's not like the Knicks are any good anyways. So, I can see that happening. And Russell can just do Russ things and just, be the walking triple-double that he is. That's cool. Or, what might actually happen with Russ? They might just buy him out. Like, I see that as a really big possibility at this point in time, right? Because they're trying just about everything. 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams. It's like they're doing what they can, but they might just have to buy him out and just call it a night.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. There was a couple of signings this week, some young guys. Alex Antetokounmpo, the younger brother of Giannis and Thanasis. He is now he's been traded to the Bucks G League affiliate, and so we might see actually 3 brothers on the Bucks coming up at some point this coming season. That's pretty neat. Imagine actually seeing all 3 brothers on the court at the same time with the same team. How cool would that be?
That would be freaking awesome. And I'm pretty sure Giannis might have had a hand in saying, "Oh, is my brother free? Yeah, go get him." And then the team said, "You bet Giannis. We're gonna go get him."
Yeah.
We got him.
No, that was pretty neat. Yeah, I was happy to see that. I tried watching their new show, The Rise, the other night. I was too tired, and I only made it a few minutes in, but I'm really looking forward to watching that. And I think you and I talked about it recently. I think that's going to be cool to see it. They showed, just the tough road that his parents had to go to, tried to get out of their country and try to get to Greece. They were in Turkey, and the government officials were arresting tons of people, and luckily they just made it out and got themselves to Greece and built a life. And have now 3 brothers in the same franchise. Pretty incredible. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. The other note that came down today was Shaquille O'Neal's son, Sharif O'Neal, was signed to a 6-figure contract with the G League Ignite today. And this is one of the G League teams that does pay out a lot of salary to guys in their league. Most of the other guys are not making huge amount. He really impressed with the Lakers team in the summer league, and the Ignite decided they were going to sign him and develop him. He's pretty raw, but his athletic ability is pretty incredible. And I think we're going to see him possibly in the next year or 2, get a contract from an NBA team. And this is good news for Shaq and his son. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. And obviously he clearly has, like, the genetics, the blue blood genetics in him to do well. So I cheer for him. I root for him. I hope the young man can do well and get his dream. Get it done.
You too. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, one last note. The NFL has just released its own streaming service. They made the announcement today. You can get the NFL Plus, $4.99 a month or $39.99 per year. The subscription includes all all out of market preseason games. You'll be able to get lots of preseason games. You'll be able to get lots of content. They say that this is the first time the NFL has dipped their toe into this water. You and I talked about it being a possibility at some point. And yeah, I think I'm gonna sign up and see what it's like, and I'll let our viewers and listeners know if it's worth the money.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta try it out, especially like $4.99 a month. That sounds like a really good deal. But I do have a question. That obviously includes regular season games, right? Like you get to see everything, right? Not just the
yeah, we'll see. There, as I said a couple weeks ago, I think we talked about this. NFL's in the process of renewing its Sunday ticket package. They're trying to choose a streaming partner, Amazon or Apple being the two biggest front runners. That would be different from this particular subscription service.
Okay, I get that. I understand that. Now, the great thing about the NFL is all they got to do is this: who has the bigger bank account?
Yeah.
Who's got more money? Because and when whoever does win that, I can't wait to see what those numbers look like. I cannot wait to see how many billions of dollars that's going to be worth. Because it's not going to be 8. That's going to be like that. No, hold on a second. That's going to be like a lot of money. That's like 40 billion, 50 billion, 60 billion.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely massive, depending on how long they want to lock it up for.
Yeah.
DirecTV has owned Sunday ticket rights since 1994. So their contract runs out this season. That was obviously almost a 30-year commitment. Pretty incredible. I don't know how much they want to lock one of these streaming services down for, but yeah, big money coming. And yeah, I think they could pretty much write their debts off, being able to increase the salary cap by a huge amount, because big money's coming that they have never seen so far.
No, huge money's coming. And also too, that's going to be good news for the players. We're going to be able to make more money. That's going to be great news, actually, now that I think about it, for Lamar Jackson, who's still under contract negotiations.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think what he's been doing has been brilliant. This slow play that he's doing, it's just making him more money.
Yeah.
Like, it literally is making him more money, where he's just like, I'll just wait. Let's see what everybody else is getting. Ooh, I'm going to get a lot of money here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, you're right, because usually they just one up. This is the biggest contract ever. No, this one's the biggest one. No, yeah, they just, if you wait, you're gonna make the most out of anybody. You're right. So they have to sign them, and basically they got to probably give them the richest contract that's out there.
Well, there's been talk of him possibly, and I think that's what he would be worth, $50 million a year. Yeah. That's the going rate. That's what it costs. That's it.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I love seeing the money, and can't wait to see what breaks down with all these streaming services for the NFL and the money that keeps pouring in. Biggest league in North America by far, and they already have huge money on TV rights. This is just gonna up it even so much more, and it won't matter if a fan ever attends a game. They'll be able to just keep handing out huge dough.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. It's like, no, we have these billion-dollar stadiums. Doesn't matter if anybody goes. Doesn't matter. We're still gonna make tons of money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. All right, man. Well, this was great as always. Thanks for making us have a great weekend wrap up of sports and a fantastic Monday. I'm glad you had a nice chill out weekend. I'm glad you didn't go down to the fireworks. I heard it was the largest crowd to ever see the Celebration of Light fireworks down there. I think you would have got probably frustrated being in and amongst that many people. And I couldn't even believe that I heard it all the way in Richmond, where I was on Saturday night. But yeah, I'm glad you stayed home and chilled out. Now you can party all week and have a really good summer week. It's here it comes. Can't wait.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's great. It's great. Summer's here now. You know, like I can go to the beach, even though I don't really need to work on my tan, but I guess I could. It's there. It's there. But I already know what I'm doing this week. Is it's always committed to the rehab and all that sort of stuff, so that I'm good to go for next month. So that's what most of this week's going to be.
Just a month left, and you can return to work. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. As long as my doctor gives me the go ahead, which is going to be seeing him in 2 weeks.
Great.
As long as all that is good and buttoned up, I think I'll be good to go.
Oh, good to hear, man. Really good to hear. Glad that all your hard work's paying off, and yeah, you're gonna feel good getting back at it. It'll be fun to see you out there. I'm sure we'll cross paths all the time when you're back to work.
Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. We are definitely going to be crossing paths.
Okay, man. Well, have a great night, and yeah, I'm sure we'll talk through the week. Cheers. Take care.
All right, you got it. Cheers.
Thanks,
bye for now.
All right, bye for now. Okay. Wow. Coming to an end of another podcast. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Great to have Jason on board as always, and yeah, fun conversation. Glad he got some rest. I did too a little bit, but really enjoyed my Sunday with all the great music and the wrestling. I recommend it if you guys see a wrestling card coming up. It was a lot of fun, lots of laughs, highly entertaining, and yeah, there are probably about 4 or 5 local promotions. I think this one was a American promotion that came up, but I'm sure just as fun with the local promotions and yeah. Anyway, I want to thank our partners and sponsors, Anchor.fm, easiest place to make a podcast and really phenomenal at posting on multiple podcast platforms for us. Verbero, the hockey equipment and apparel company, industry leader in technology, performance, and value. The V350 stick is a must-have for anybody that plays hockey in your midst. Pampas and Possibilities, really phenomenal with the great West Coast vibes to create a really amazing decor in your home. And Forever Living, the aloe vera company for health and beauty products. You can purchase products on our website at discounted rates. Just go to completesportsmedia.com and lots of great content. Go to our website, completemedianetwork.com. Tons of things there to check out, and really appreciate your support as always. Thanks so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you again in a week, and if not sooner. Okay, love you. Take care of yourself. Bye.